With free agency slowing down, man, it looks like the Giants made most of their moves in free agency, and you probably won't see that many until draft night. Possibly trades, possibly obviously other signings. We'll see, and we'll dive into that when that happens. But for now, we're gonna grade free agency where it stands. Let's see what Joe Schoen did whole collectively for the Giants this offseason. And so far, we gotta talk about the biggest addition, Brian Burns. Trading for Brian Burns from the Carolina Panthers, man. He went for a second and a fifth rounder. Some people feel like that was a steal. And then you look at the contract, and some people have mixed feelings about it. Brian Burns can be very, very good. He's a very good player. He's not a top 5 edge rusher at the moment, but who knows what he can be on this Giants D-line. The dream has always been getting another edge rusher on the other side of Kayvon Thibodeau. That was always the dream. Now, getting a guy that was better than Kayvon Thibodeau, I didn't really expect that, and they did it. They traded for Brian Burns. They made him the second highest paid edge rusher in the league. And you got to think about pairing him up with KT and also Dexter Lawrence. The defensive line for the New York Giants should be a top 10, at least top 10 position group heading into next season. That's easily top 10, bottom floor. Now, with Brian Burns, what you like about him is that he's only 25, turning 26. He's still young in the prime of his career. He doesn't really miss games like that, and you'll see a lot of that with a couple of the free agency additions that they made. These people don't really miss games like that. So you love to see it, because when you think about Azeez Ojulari, has all the talent in the world and has all the potential, but he cannot stay on the field. Brian Burns is going to bring that stability, and he should be playing alongside KT for majority of the season, if not the whole season. Now, Brian Burns is coming off an 8-sack season, which KT cleared that last season, but the year prior, he put up 12.5 sacks. Now, pairing that up with Dexter Lawrence being the wrecking force in the middle, which now, by the way, Dexter Lawrence is for sure, I always said it, but he's for sure the #1 defensive tackle in the league, by the way. I just hope y'all know that with Aaron Donald retiring. But pairing that up with KT on the other side as well, this wrecking crew should be great. And when you think about what the Giants are known for, they're known for their pass rush, they're known for their front four. And listen, our front four has the potential to be one of the best. I thought last season we did, but obviously Azeez, we knew he was going to get hurt, and he continued to stay hurt. And Leonard Williams got traded. But it's good to see the return for Leonard Williams did help us in acquiring Brian Burns. I'm excited for this free agency signing and this trade overall. And this was definitely the splash out of all the additions that we did make. A lot of people have been clamoring, we need to fix this O-line. We need to fix this O-line. Well, Joe Schoen went out and grabbed 4 different offensive linemen, 3 of them being on the interior. And Illuminar, he's a tackle, but he could play the interior as well. So a lot of versatility when it comes to Illuminar. He's definitely the one guy, if I'm looking at the signings, I'm very excited to have him on our team. If you didn't know, he was on the Raiders, and there's a clip circulating. It's been posted up a couple times now. I posted up now as well, where he just straight up just threw KT to the side like he was nothing, which you want to feel good about the signing, and then you want to feel bad about Kayvon Thibodeau getting manhandled like that. But overall, man, he does help this offensive line, because if Evan Neal doesn't pan out, which, you know, if you're a betting man, you probably bet that Evan Neal is not going to be a great right tackle in this league at this point. You can slide him into right tackle, and he should be a lot better than what we had last season. We had guys like Azudu playing left tackle. You brought in other guys to play right tackle. I don't know if Justin Pugh played right tackle, but we had everyone playing everywhere last season. And with Evan Neal being hurt, we went out and we put our backup right tackle, swing tackle. He got hurt as well. Yeah, Matt Pert. We thought he was going to be a good tackle in this league. And at this point, we can't speak much about those guys. Last season was a terrible, terrible season. By far the worst offensive line in the league, and second worst in NFL history, in my opinion. Now, looking at it, Joe Schoen knew that, and he went out and grabbed 4 different offensive linemen. I still think you have to go out and sign 2 guys in the draft, a guard and probably another tackle, and add some more competition to this line, because listen, we had one of the worst offensive lines ever. And I don't say that shortly, ever. So hopefully with better coaching and adding a couple more guys, you know, we can't keep banking on Azudu. We can't bank on Marcus McKeith, and Ben Bredesen is gone. Glowinski got cut. You can't bank on some of these guys that's been around for a little while. So I'm glad to see 4 guys get signed. A couple of the other offensive linemen were John Runyon Jr., Aaron Stinney, and Austin Schlottman. A couple of them are going to be depth guys, but I definitely expect Runyon with his contract, and also Luminar, he's going to be starting. Both of them should be starting, and they should be playing a lot of games for us this upcoming season. Going down the totem pole, Saquon Barkley is not back from the New York Giants, so they need to go out and get a running back. I still think they're going to add another one, possibly in the draft or the remaining free agency. Devin Singletary was signed to the New York Giants. And when you think about Devin Singletary, he did play in Buffalo along with Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. Joe Shane had hands on with drafting him coming out of FAU. And listen, he produced. I know people are going to say he's a mid-back. I know people are going to say, like, this can't be the replacement for Saquon. They're not going to replace Saquon. There's not going to be a lead back that's going to be in this backfield anymore. They're definitely going to go running back by committee. And Devin Singletary, I think he will serve well for the New York Giants. Last season, you got to remember, he was splitting carries with Pierce out there in Houston. And he took over from week 8 and took his job. And Pierce ran with it his rookie season. But that second season, Devin Singletary came in, took his job, and he almost rushed for 1,000 yards last year. Devin Singletary is definitely versatile. He just gets yards. On a yard per carry basis, he had a higher yard per carry than Saquon. Now, is that saying he's a better back than Saquon? No. We know he was running behind this bad Giants offensive line. Now, what will Devin Singletary do behind our offensive line? That's what we're going to have to see. Houston's was kind of mid as well, but we know the Giants offensive line has been. Hopefully Devin Singletary can produce. I think that's a great signing, to be honest, especially with the price tag that he was. They're looking to still add another one. You saw AJ Dillon's name circulating. I think you'll probably see him add in the draft. We still have Eric Gray, but I still think you need to have another running back to compete. So Devin Singletary is a New York Giant. I'm excited to see what he can do for the Giants. Now, the one that almost stole all the headlines, Drew Lock is a New York Giant. It was questioned if Drew Lock is going to be the starter. It was circulating, hey, Drew Lock is heading to New York because he feels like he can be what Baker Mayfield was for Tampa. I don't see that happening for the Giants. Right now, there's a lot of smoke screens that are going around because then Drew Lock said he was told that Daniel Jones is going to be the starter and he will be backing him up. Now, you love to see it and you love to see what you hear because, once again, Joe Shane is not showing his cards. You don't know what the Giants are going to do in the NFL draft. I still think they're going to draft a QB. Now, how would they do so? I'm not too sure. You're probably not going to see it at the number 6 pick. And are they willing to trade up? Is anyone willing to trade back with them? That's what will remain to see. But for now, Drew Lock should be the backup. And I'm a fan of having Drew Lock as a backup. You don't intend him to start the whole year. I don't think Daniel Jones will play a single game next year as well, but that could be for another video. But overall, Drew Lock is going to be what Tyrod Taylor was for us. Now, is Tyrod Taylor better than Drew Lock? I think so. But Drew Lock, you got to see what he can do in our offense. Now, I hope to not see him once again. I hope to not see him that much. But you saw a little snippets last year, and he actually played decent. He had a game-winning drive against the Eagles. He also scored a touchdown on us on a single drive. Drew Lock, not much to talk about. He did get $5 million, so he's going to be our backup, and he's going to be on this team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're not going to see him get cut. Hopefully, we don't see him out there often, but once again, we just need a reliable backup quarterback because you saw what happened last year. You saw Tyrod Taylor get hurt, and then we have Tommy DeVito. So at the moment, we got Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, and Drew Lock as our quarterback room. You got to think they add a quarterback, right? That's what I'm thinking. Last big signing, decently big signing in my opinion, was acquiring Jalen Mills from the Patriots. Now, he is a veteran at this point, 30 years of age, 29 or 30 years of age. He is coming from the Patriots. He plays more safety now, but you know, if you've been watching Giants games, he was on the Eagles at one point, and he was a DB, a cornerback at that point. Now he's playing safety. You'll probably see him slide in a nickel or safety role for us. It is a vet minimum, so is he going to be a very, very impactful player? That'll remain to be seen. Hopefully he is starting. I definitely think he will be. When you lose Xavier McKinney, when it's still unknown if Jason Pinnock's going to be back, you're going to see Jalen Mills play a decent amount. And then also, I still think you're going to see the Giants add more to the DB room because we definitely need it. Dane Belton could possibly get more snaps as well, but we just still need to get a corner. And now Jalen Mills, I don't think he's going to transition back to corner. I don't think that's why the Giants signed him. So I think that is one of the guys that you will see on this defense next year play a decent amount. And who knows, man? Will he be the Jason Pinnock for us? He is a little higher in age, but we'll see. They did add a couple tight ends that are going to be blocking for us in Jack Stahl and Chris Manhertz, as well as getting Isaiah McKenzie, who used to play for the Bills, was playing on the Colts last year. Now he's going to be getting a chance on the Giants. Will he make the team? I don't think so. But those are a couple of depth signings that I think, hey, Darren Waller, you don't know what his ETA is. He's probably retiring, and I hope he retires at this point because we need some cap space. Give me the cap space, and let's see if we can get another guy that's out there on the market. We did bring back guys like Olszewski, the punt returner, kick returner. You didn't bring back Nick McLeod. Lawrence Cager is going to be back as well. Yeah, Giants filled in their needs. They added some offensive linemen. They got an edge rusher to pair with KT. They got a running back. I think they still need to go add in the DB room. If there's one thing I could improve on this free agency and possibly still add, it's going to be another corner across from Deonte Banks. So Deonte Banks will be serving as CB1, in my opinion. I think he will be. Adoree is a free agent. I don't see him coming back to the Giants. But you did see your man out there from the Bills got released, Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White is a free agent. He's not scheduled to visit with the Giants currently, but I definitely think Joe Schoen probably will be calling up his phone and see if he wants to be a New York Giant. I hope we can get that done. He is coming off of major injuries, but if he's able to get himself right and be a corner, I'm cool to test him at CB2. Who knows? I mean, I know it's a serious injury. He did tear his Achilles, but I hope he can be out there and still produce and maybe be our CB2 on a vet minimum. Who knows? But we need to add another DB for sure. And how does this change the draft? I think the draft, you're not going to see them draft up front on the defensive line. You still have Dexter Lawrence. Obviously, you still got Brian Burns. I can see corner, interior offensive lineman, as well as still adding a quarterback. A quarterback is going to be added, y'all. I still believe that. Now, where will it be? What round will it be? Which quarterback will it be? That remains to be unknown. But at this point, I still think the Giants are mainly transitioning towards a QB. You saw them look at Russell Wilson. So you can't tell me that they're not looking to improve in the quarterback room still. Drew Lock does not plug in all the holes that we had. So we'll see what the Giants do, man. If I had to give a grade, the Giants this offseason, so far it's a B. It's a B. I'm happy. Once again, you want the offensive line to be fixed? We signed 4 dudes. Sign them all. You got to be trying, right? You got to be adding some guys to help on this offensive line. And then you go out and get Devin Singletary. I think that's going to be a good value signing, as well as Illuminor himself is a good value signing at the price point that we got him. I think it's a B. The Brian Burns trade did come out of nowhere, but once again, I think once Brian Burns starts playing, a lot of the people that are mad about the contract that we gave him, a lot of people that are mad about who he is as a player, that he can't stop the run, you're going to see him be electric in New York. That's what I think. So y'all let me know down below, man. Comment down below your thoughts. Let me know the draft grade you got the Giants with free agency so far, and who do you want in this NFL draft. We're still going to be covering that content. Once again, we do go live every single Wednesday, so I'll catch you this Wednesday. And for the NFL draft, I'll be live streaming the first 2 days, so y'all stay tuned for that, man. If you'd love to see more Giants content, man, subscribe down below. That's what we're here, chopping it up, talking about that. So catch you on the next one, man. Peace.